Hey there, Jordan from NetResults here, excited to talk to you today about our fully responsive landing page builder. Let's get started. After we log into NetResults, we're going to navigate to Marketing Center, Landing Pages, Create New Drag and Drop. For this video, we're going to create a landing page that entices visitors to register for an event by filling out a form. Let's call our landing page April Event Registration. It's important to note that the name you choose for your landing page will be the location where your page lives on the domain you choose. For our example, our landing page will have a URL of pages.landingpages.com/April event registration. After selecting our name and the domain we wish to use, we are ready to get inside the builder itself. Now that we're in the builder, let's build. Wait, in order to build, we must first gain some knowledge about the tools we will be building with. Now is the first but not the only time I will recommend to treat this builder like a playground. The builder can assist you in creating great looking landing pages in just a short amount of time. However, there's a lot that we won't get to in this video, so we encourage you to explore all of the different modules and custom options available in the builder after watching this video. One other thing I strongly encourage is to hop over to our knowledge base and check out our in-depth documentation on the landing page builder to take full advantage of all of its capabilities. In this video, I'll be taking us through the needs to know, as well as doing a bit of exploring myself. As always, the team here at NetResults is here to help if you get stuck. Let's start with the page layout and some of the icons we see when we first land in the builder. In our landing page builder, there are 3 core building blocks you will be working with to build your pages. Working from the outside in, page layouts consist of sections, rows, and modules. Within the builder, sections are identified by the color blue, rows by green, and modules by a dark gray. Sections can also be red or purple, but we will discuss that more later in this video. Sections contain rows, and rows contain modules. Sections are the main building blocks when laying out and organizing your page. A row can take up the full width of a section, or you may split up a row into multiple columns, which offers you great flexibility when designing your landing pages. Inside our rows, we will be working with modules. Think of modules as the content we are injecting into our page. Here we can insert content such as a text block, a call to action button, an image, and a form. When hovering over any of our 3 blocks, you will see a block menu appear for the block you are hovering, as well as the parent blocks that it resides in. All blocks have similar menu options. In each block menu, you will find buttons to move the block, view the block's settings, duplicate it, save the block to your library, and delete the block. Now that we've got a basic understanding of the layout of our page, let's take a moment to go over some of the other icons we see around the builder. Starting in the bottom left corner, you will see the ability to view your page as it will display across different devices. Shifting our focus now to the middle of the builder, we are introduced to our page menu. Within the page menu, you have the options of leveraging one of our pre-built templates, saving your current page as a template, clearing the contents of your page, viewing the page's settings, viewing your editing history, and going back to NetResults. These buttons are split in half by a collapse expand button, which can be utilized to keep your focus on the page itself. The last button we will talk about is the Save button, which can be found in the bottom right-hand corner of our screen. Now that we've covered the basics, let's go ahead and start building our landing page. As soon as a visitor lands on our page, I want to get their attention. A great way to accomplish this is by creating a full-width section. We can create a new section by hovering over the top of our page until we see a blue plus sign appear. Let's click on that plus sign and we will see 3 options: regular, specialty, and full width. As I touched on earlier, you will notice that specialty sections are identified by the color red and full width by the color purple. Since we know we want to create a full width section, let's click on full width and select the full width header module. This will give us the first look at our sidebar editor. This is where we will be customizing our sections, rows, and modules. As you will see, there are a lot of options. We won't cover all of them in this video, but I encourage you to head over to our knowledge base to check out all the options we don't get to. Let's go through some of these options we have for our full width header. Let's go ahead and change the header title to Our Awesome Event. Next, let's switch our subheading text to "Don't Miss Out." Since we really want to draw in our visitor, let's go ahead and make this full screen. And now we're going to add two call to action buttons. One called Watch Video, and another called Register Now. One of my favorite things about this builder are all the default styles you will find. You will see we have default styles already applied here to these buttons, and even hover effects. Next, let's go ahead and add our background image. Although our image looks good, you'll see that we lost sight of our text and buttons. Let's now go ahead and add a background overlay to bring back our buttons and text. That looks better, but we're going to go ahead and switch our text color to white to really make our buttons and heading stand out. That looks much better. Now let's go into the Design tab and go through some of the customization options we have. Here you'll see our Design tab, and again, the flexibility this builder has is insane. Let's go ahead now and find our title font size and increase that. We're also going to go down to our subhead font size and increase that as well. You'll notice at the bottom here, we have custom styles for button 1 and button 2. Let's go ahead and jump in the custom styles for button 1. Using custom styles makes your buttons look exactly how you want them to. Although I do like how the buttons look there, I'm going to go ahead and make it bold, just to make it stand out a little bit more. If you remember, there's an icon that shows when we hover our buttons. I like this icon here, and we'll play around with icons later on in this video. What we are going to do though, is go down to our hover styles and change what our button looks like when it is hovered. Let's go ahead and change the background color to this blue that I really like. Let's also go to the border color and change that to blue. There we go. Now what we're going to do is hop over to our second button and apply the very same styles. For the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the customization of our second button. Alright, now let's just go in and change our hover colors, the background to blue, and the hover border color to blue as well. Great, now we have our identical buttons. Let's go ahead and save this out by hitting the check mark, and let's continue. There we go. Our first section is complete. After each section, we will be saving out our page as well. Now is a great time for our first break in this video. We will be having a few of these throughout, and I encourage you to pause the video at these points to explore the blocks further and apply what we've covered so far to your very own landing page. Welcome back. I see this white space up top here, and this is a section we have by default in our builder. Let's go ahead and delete that. There we go. Let's save our page one more time and then continue down to the next section. If you remember, full width sections are purple, so let's hit the purple plus sign and hit regular section. And let's add a row that we split into two columns. And let's look for the video module. With the video module, you could link to any video on the web, or your very own. And here is the video we're looking for. There we go. Alright, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and save that. Alright, and now in the other column, let's go ahead and add a text block that will give our visitors the highlights of both the video and what our event is about. This will open up our text settings in our sidebar editor for the first time. The text module has an incredible amount of options, and I recommend checking out our knowledge base to learn its full potential. For the sake of time and for my lack of creativity at the moment, I have some text here that I'm going to paste in. And let's go ahead and make this kind of pop out. Let's make it a heading 2. Let's make it bold. And I want to highlight "Isn't this fun?" as well. Let's make that a heading 3. And make it bold. Let's go ahead and center the text. There we go. Alright. It's coming along. Let's save this out, and let's also add another button enticing them to sign up. So let's add a module button. Let's change the text to "Join Us," There we go. We're going to go ahead and center that button so it's in line with our text. Next, let's open our Design tab and make this button look similar to the ones above. For this button, we're going to slightly change how it looks on hover. We're actually going to change the text color to white and make this button really stand out on the white background by applying a blue background color along with a blue border color. There we go. That looks good. Let's save this and move on. As I mentioned previously, we're also going to save out our page after each section. Now is when we're going to take our second break. It is a great time to pause the video and create your very own 2-column section. Let's continue. We're going to hit the blue plus sign again and add another regular section. Let's add a section now to showcase what they'll learn at our event. So let's add a full width row there, and let's go ahead and select our text module. Let's type in what you'll learn at our event. Let's make that a heading 1 because we want that to stand out. Alright, and let's go ahead and just center that. There we go. And let's save that. And now, like I touched on before, you see these options up here. We can move the section, go to the section settings, we can duplicate, we can save it to our library, and we could delete. This is going to be the first time we're going to be working in the section settings because we want to change the color of our background. This will give us a nice break in between sections. Let's choose that blue that we've been using so far. Let's approve those changes. Now that we have our background color in place, let's go ahead and make that text white instead of black. Let's go ahead and hit module settings and change that text color to light. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead now and add a row underneath that full width row. And let's select a 3-column row. Let's add blurbs here. These are going to just kind of be nice graphics that will tell people what they're going to learn. The first thing we'll teach them about is marketing automation. Looking through the icons, we're going to find the cogwheels and use those to represent marketing automation. There we go. And that icon color we don't like, we want that to pop. Let's do the white. You'll see there's an option to add a circle around your icon, but we're not going to use that right now. And let's change the text color to white. There we go. Alright, let's confirm these changes and keep moving. Alright, so now we need 2 other ones. And again, we'll be working within our settings here, and we could find the duplicate module button. There we go, we could drag that over. Let's go ahead and go to that module settings. What else will they learn at our event? How about ways to increase their lead generation? And how NetResults helps them accomplish that. Again, we're going to go ahead and change that icon to something that can represent lead generation. There are so many icons to choose from. Let's find a chart or something that we can use to represent lead generation. There we go. And now we want to go ahead and duplicate that one. And move that to the right. For the third benefit, we could use this right here. We could use creating landing pages. Let's call it web design. Let's look for something that could resemble creating or editing. Alright, that works. I like that. Now, another thing you could do is move these modules quite easily. So let's say we want web design in the middle. Okay, there we go. And let's move lead generation to the right. Perfect. Alright, this is really coming along now. Let's take another pause here for you to go back into your editor and add blurbs to your page. Let's move on. Let's find that blue plus sign again and create another regular section. And let's split this row into 2 columns. Alright, here let's find a text block. And we're going to utilize what people had to say about our previous events and how great they were. So pasting in some quotes here. This will be like a testimonial section. Let's select the little quotation marks. Here's another instance where the builder adds great default styling. This helps identify the quote from the author. And let's center all of these. That looks good. And now to the right, let's add an image. Now is a great time for me to bring up default content. You'll notice we have default content for almost every module in our builder. You'll notice when I load an image block, we have a picture of a dog. Although cute, we're not going to use that for our event. We want this guy. Let me show you now the animation option that you'll find in a lot of our module settings. This is one of my favorite options in the whole builder. I like right to left. It's like he's sliding into place. Let's go with that. Alright, there we go. There we have our next section. Let's save that out. We've come to our final break in the video. I encourage you to create your very own testimonial section on your own page. Welcome back. Alright, we've come this far. Let's go ahead and create our last section. We'll make this one just a single column row. Let's add in a countdown timer that will entice our visitor to sign up today. Let's say registration closes soon. Sign up today. Let's go ahead and select the day the event is. Alright, now we have our countdown. Let's go ahead and change that background color. Maybe something like a red, a green, maybe a green. Let's go ahead and pick that blue we really like. Now you'll see here something we didn't talk about yet. You have undo and redo buttons here at the bottom of the editor. You'll see that when I hit undo, we go back to our green, and I hit redo, we go to our blue. The blue is what we want, so let's go ahead and save. Now let's go ahead and add another module to that row. Let's choose form module. When using the form module, you'll see all of your net results forms appear in the drop-down menu. Let's go ahead and select our registration form. There we go. Let's go ahead and save that out. Now let's add a background image to our section. Let's go back up to section settings, background image. We will be selecting the people background. And now we can't see any of our labels on our form. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go back to our form module and hit module settings. We're going to head over to the design tab. We're going to go ahead and change our background color to white. There we go. Our form is visible again. Let's save that out. And there we go. There's the form they're going to use to register for our event. Let's save our page out one last time. And we're all set. Our event landing page looks great and provides our visitor good information about the event and a form to register. We built a beautiful responsive landing page for our event in under 20 minutes. Before wrapping things up, I want to cover one of my favorite features of the builder. You have the ability to save any module, row, section, and page to your library to reuse in the future. Along with that, we have gone ahead and created several landing page templates to get you started. As I mentioned before, this builder has a lot of options and capabilities. I encourage you to take some time to look further into some of the items we touched upon in our video, and head over to our knowledge base to learn all it has to offer. We're here to help you with any roadblocks you run into. Until next time, take care and happy automating.